it's meant to be like this kind of thriller as well. Honestly, I am so intrigued, and I think it's going to go either one of two ways. I'm either going to be really thrilled and encaptured by this story, or it's going to be absolutely bloody hilarious because we're following a bee. Hello my loves, it's Kirsten. Thank you so much for joining me, and we're doing a little bit of a double video here. So we do have my book haul for the last few weeks, also a quick update. So for those of you that don't want to listen to this update bit, feel free to skip ahead. But basically, as you guys would have seen, I did not upload a weekly vlog. I haven't actually been vlogging for a little while, or at least it definitely feels like ages for me, but I think it's only been like 2 weeks. I have just been feeling a bit burnt out with everything that's been happening with the new job, all the training and everything, and it's just been getting a little bit much to try and keep up with doing 2 videos every single week. I have been doing for over a year and a half, keeping up with 2 videos a week plus extra journaling content and extra readathons if I'm taking part and stuff, and it was very manageable with my old job. Now I'm going into a job where at the minute the training is very intensive, although to be fair I have had a 2-week break from training because my instructor had COVID, but that's going to be kicking off next week. Even last week I was busy in the actual station that I'm going to be based at and working, so it's just going to be a lot, especially because it's going to be shift work. So I've decided that I'm going to be reducing the amount of videos I make and just going with these Sunday videos. I will obviously keep you guys updated, and if I do get a chance to vlog and I feel like I actually have something to talk about, I will be doing that as well. Because the other reason why I haven't been vlogging is because I haven't really been reading much. Since I last did a vlog, I have literally finished House of Earth and Blood and started one other book and not even got far into it. You know, admittedly, that is part of, you know, the training and stuff and not wanting to read too much afterwards, but also because of Animal Crossing. Let's be real, I am loving that, and I think because life is a bit chaotic at the minute, having something that I can actually just go into a game and control everything that's going on has been such a relief to me, and it's definitely what I've been focusing on. So I haven't been reading as much, and I was getting really bored and not knowing what else to say when I'm talking about one book the whole week. But onto the book haul. I haven't actually picked up that many books, which I'm quite impressed with, because the last haul, although it was in January, they were all from Christmas, so from December. So actually this haul has been like the last 7 weeks, which not bad. Okay, anyway. The first book we're going to talk about is The City of Dr Moreau by J.S. Barnes. I picked this up in a charity shop. I didn't even realise he had another book out. This is the author of Dracula's Child, which I really enjoyed, and that was kind of a continuation from Dracula and obviously his child, and the fact that this child had different abilities and stuff, and it was bringing back what Mina and Jonathan Harker had gone through back then, and I really liked it. I thought the language was incredible. It really kept to that gothic atmosphere as well. So when I saw this, I was immediately intrigued. So it says on the back, in H.G. Wells' The Island of Dr Moreau, a shipwrecked traveller finds himself alone on an island ruled by a mad doctor and inhabited by creatures who are at once both beast and human. He escapes, but that is only the beginning of the story. The City of Dr Moreau is a sprawling history of the islanders and an alternative vision of our own times. Spanning more than a century, crisscrossing through numerous places and many lives, we witness the growth of Moreau's legacy, from Gothic experiments to an event which changes the world. From the depths of Victorian London to a boarding house with an inhuman resident, to an assassin on a 20th century train ordered to kill the one man who knows the truth. We follow secret skirmishes and hidden plots which emerge eventually and violently into the open. It sounds really good. I actually read The Island of Dr Moreau because I read The Secret Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss, and that book is a retelling of lots and lots of different gothic horror books, which I really enjoyed. And so part of that, I decided to start reading all of the books that influenced that series, which is a really good trilogy, and if you're looking for retellings, highly recommend. So I then read The Island of Dr Moreau, and it's so disturbing. So it's going to be really interesting to see a retelling, and considering how much that goes on, it's such a short book. So yeah, I'm really intrigued by this one. Like I said, I enjoyed Dracula's Child. I gave that 4 stars, so I'm highly invested in this one and I have high hopes. Then my sister sent me a late Christmas present, and that is Into the Crooked Palace by Alexander Christo. So I sent her my Amazon wishlist and she picked a book off of that. And this is one that I've been interested in because of how much I adored To Kill a Kingdom by Alexander Christo, which is a Little Mermaid inspired retelling, which are we sensing a theme here? I love my retellings. Anyway, this one is The Cities of Kriji are for the deadly and the dreamers, but 4 crooks know just how much magic they need up their sleeve to survive. Tavia sells dark charms and potions until she can escape the city. Wesley does whatever it takes to further his criminal empire. Karim makes a deadly name for herself in the fighting rings, and Saxony plots revenge on the people who destroyed her family. After a sinister new magic hits the streets, these 4 outsiders must come together to save their city before it's too late. But with enemies at all sides, they can trust nobody, least of all each other. This is a YA fantasy, as I expected from Alexander Christo anyway. I haven't actually heard too many people talk about this, which surprises me because a lot of people, when you say Little Mermaid retellings, do say How to Kill a Kingdom. I'm highly excited. I'm so pleased my sister picked this one, and yeah, hoping to get to it soon. It just sounds like it's going to be a bit of a coming together, found family, magical, maybe heist or something. So I'm very intrigued and excited, which obviously, because that's the reason why all of these books are here. Anyway, moving on. We have Mad Love by Paul Dini and Pat Cadigan. This is actually the novelisation form version of the graphic novel Mad Love, and I have actually read that. I then lent it to a friend and I don't think I'm ever going to see it again, which, you know what, that's the risk you take when you lend stuff out, and I tend not to. But this is basically the backstory of Harley Quinn, how she came entangled with the Joker, how Harley Quinzel actually became Harley Quinn. So yeah, I really enjoyed the actual graphic novel, thought the artwork in that was absolutely stunning, and to be honest, I probably will pick it up again at some point. It's just a lot more expensive. So I saw this one in Forbidden Planet and decided to go with it because it literally is the novelisation of that graphic novel. So yeah, I'm excited to see how that's going to go, if it's going to be that different. I don't think it's going to be any different from the actual graphic novel, but it does mean that I get all the descriptions and stuff instead of the images. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed that graphic novel. I thought it was really, really good. So of course, had to pick it up, and I will be rereading. Technically not rereading. Is it rereading if it's been a graphic novel and then novelisation? I'm not sure which one came first actually, the novel or the graphic novel, but I don't know. Anyway, I really like this, very happy with it, and I will be getting around to reading this soon. And then, the day that I am filming this, I have got back from Scotland. I came back yesterday. Me and my partner went to Scotland for a few days. It was a much needed break, especially, as I said, after all the chaos of the training and everything that's been going on. It was really good. It was originally intended because last week was meant to be my final week of training and my final exam, and it was supposed to be a yay, well done, we've passed, or oh, we didn't pass but never mind sort of thing. That hasn't happened. That's next week now. So instead it was a let's just take a break which so needed. And I really enjoyed it in Edinburgh. I thought it was absolutely lovely, and they have really nice bookshops. My favourite was Toppins because they have literally floor to ceiling bookshelves, and they have these sliding ladders that go around and you literally pull them along and you can climb up them to get to the books that you want on the very top shelf. I did not climb up ladders. Me and ladders do not go well. No thank you. I like my feet firmly on the ground, or unless in a plane. For some reason I'm fine with that. It's weird. But yeah, I loved it there. I thought it was really, really lovely, and just in general Edinburgh was beautiful, and thankfully the weather was really good as well, so it wasn't even that cold. So while we were at Toppins, I did get 2 books. The first one is Jade City by Fronda Lee. I picked this one up because so many people have been talking about it. It's basically this fantasy world where we have 2 rival gangs, and there is this substance called Jade which has been leaked onto the streets, and whoever takes Jade, it gives them really incredible powers, and obviously you have this whole gang war and everything that's going on. I didn't really think I'd be interested in this, like urban fantasy gang wars, but I've heard so many people talk about it and say how much they actually really enjoy this book, as well as the fact that I recently watched Arcane on Netflix along with the rest of the world. Absolutely adored it, and it just kind of gave me those sort of vibes where you have that, I've forgotten the name of it, but that elixir basically that had gone onto the streets, and how so many people were taking it, and it does kind of transform them slightly, give them these massive, like, incredible bursts of strength and everything, but has some serious consequences and causes people to become addicted to it. And you do almost have that rival gang from the upper world citizens to literally the lower ground citizens. So I mean, obviously I don't expect it to be anything like Arcane, but considering how much I loved that show, I mean, I adored it. So I've decided, you know what, let's give this a try. I've been after new fantasy books anyway, so why not give an urban fantasy a try? And on the back it says, Jade is the lifeblood of the City of Dr, a stone that enhances a warrior's natural strength and speed. It is mined, traded, stolen and killed for, all controlled by two families equal in their power and ruthlessness. When a modern drug emerges that allows anyone, even foreigners, to wield Jade, simmering tension between the two clans erupt into open war. It does sound fast-paced, action-fueled, and I am intrigued to see that tension between the two different clans and stuff. And like I said, I've heard nothing but good reviews, so I'm willing to give this a try. And then a book which, honestly, I never would have picked up. I never even seen or heard anyone talking about, and that is The Bees by Laineen Paul. All I saw was this. It was beautiful, bright yellow and said bees. And I was like, okay, it's in the fantasy section. Let me see what this is about. I read the back of it and I was a bit like, okay, where is this going? And then I started reading little bits. I just randomly opened a page and started reading a bit. And we are following a bee. Literally following a bee. It's meant to be like this kind of thriller as well. Honestly, I am so intrigued, and I think it's going to go either one of two ways. I'm either going to be really thrilled and encaptured by this story, or it's going to be absolutely bloody hilarious because we're following a bee. Either way, like I said, I've not heard anyone talk about it. It's got a beautiful cover, and it was actually the Women's Prize for Fiction shortlisted in 2015. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, I've never seen this anywhere, and I would have remembered a cover like this. And that's one thing I liked about Toppings, is there was a lot of books in there that I never heard of before. So yeah, I was tempted by a lot more, but I was being controlled. Anyway, on the back it says, accept, obey, serve. Flora 717 is a survivor. Born into the lowest class of the totalitarian hive society, she is prepared to sacrifice everything for the queen, surviving internal massacres, religious purges, and terrifying invasions by vicious wasps. With each act of bravery, her status grows, revealing both the enemies within and the sinister secrets that rule the hive. But when her instinct to serve is overwhelmed by a fierce and deeply forbidden maternal love, she breaks the most sacred law of all. And then it has a blurb, or like summary, I'm not even sure what they call this bit, but anyway, Madeline Miller had a little bit of a note on here, and I was just like, you know what, I really loved Song of Achilles. And she said, an extraordinary feat of imagination. With every page I turned, I found myself drawn deeper into Flora's plight and her immersive, mesmerising world. I mean, it's so unusual. I've never read a book from a bee's perspective before. My favourite series growing up was actually called Warrior Cats, and that's all from a cat's perspective, which, good timing for my cat to start scratching. Yeah, it just sounds really good. And then there's other bits on it which says, you know, it's frightening and gripping and thrilling. So I am expecting a thriller, but I do kind of have expectations that I will also find it funny. And then the very last book that I picked up while I was in Edinburgh is Cains' Jawbone, a novel problem. I'm really intrigued by this. So I saw this in Blackwell's, which I wanted to go into Blackwell's because I love Blackwell's. I've ordered from them in the past, especially if I can't get a book through Waterstones. It was really nice to actually go to their bookshop and everything. It's beautiful. Downstairs they have a whole board game section and everything, which my partner loved. And then I saw this book and I am highly intrigued because Jack and the books, he's got two different channels. One of them, he was trying to solve this, and he did a part one because he was just like, this is too hard to try and cover in one episode. Thankfully I don't actually remember too much about it. I just remember him talking about it, and you literally rip the pages out of the book because all the pages are in the wrong order, and the point of it is you need to order them in the correct order and solve different murders that are happening in this. So it says 6 murders, 100 pages, millions of possible combinations, but only one is correct. Can you solve Tokudima's murder mystery? It sounds amazing. It was done in 1934, where he released a novel that was simultaneously a murder mystery and the most fiendishly difficult literary puzzle ever written. Only 3 puzzlers have ever solved the mystery of Cain's jawbone. Do you have what it takes to join the ranks? Please note, this puzzle is extremely difficult and not for the faint-hearted. I'm so intrigued. I think it's just going to be a lot of fun, just trying to actually put this all in order and see if I can actually work this out. I doubt it. I just think it's going to be a fun little thing to do if I'm bored or something, or if I do go around with partners or something like that. We can just try and attempt to solve this, which honestly, like I said, I don't think it's actually going to be possible, but I loved the idea that a book was a puzzle, so yeah. And there we have it. Those are the 6 books that I have got recently, which I'm actually really happy with, because I did expect that I would be buying more in Edinburgh, but I'm really pleased I didn't. In January, I mean, I picked up 2 books, one of which was a charity book, so I'm very pleased with that. I'm definitely slowing down. Because I'm slowing down on my reading, I think it's best to actually just slow down on the books that I'm buying. I have a lot of books to get through here anyway, but thank you so much for watching. If you have read any of these 6 books, let me know. If you've even attempted this puzzle, let me know, but don't tell me the answers. I'm doing my best not to try and find out the answers at all, because I want to see if I can do it. Like I said, probably won't be able to, but I'm going to try. But yeah, let me know if you've read any of these, heard of any of these, intrigued by any of these, all of the questions. And if you have made it this far, let's put a little shopping bag emoji, because this is a book haul, so we have been shopping. And yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it that thumbs up, subscribe, comment to let me know that you're here. Social media links will be linked below, and I will of course catch you in the next one.